on the menu before. What looks kind of like empanadas. I like that bowl too. That bowl is so good. And honestly, it feels like y'all upgraded it. Did you like redo it in the past few months?
Not in the past few months, but we're always making like little tweaks here and there.
Yeah.
We actually need to change up some things, like some big things, because apparently people want more vegetables than we offer.
Yeah, we like veggies.
Yeah, which is kind of surprising because like when we first opened, people would throw away, like they would eat everything in their bowls and leave all the veggies.
A lot of people, yeah.
But I feel like, I don't know if things change or if like health is just, people are more focused on it now, but yeah.
When they leave the veggies, are they leaving just like the nori from the...
It's also like the main culprit is like the bok choy.
I love me a bok choy.
I know, I love bok choy.
Me too, that's my shit. I love it.
Do you think they're just afraid of it?
Maybe people don't necessarily recognize it as much as like, I don't know, corn or kale or something.
Or cabbage. It looks kind of like cabbage, but it's not.
Yeah.
What's the hot vegetable right now? What's trending? Oh, is it sweet potatoes really big right now?
They are doing really good. Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe like, I've seen a lot of like roasted, like charred cabbage dishes.
I'm so into that.
I love cabbage. I can eat like a whole head of cabbage.
I feel like cauliflower has been having a moment too.
Yeah. It's definitely not Brussels sprouts anymore.
Not anymore.
Yeah, Brussels sprouts are
their season
leaving.
has passed.
Yeah.
I got some yesterday and I was like, I haven't bought these in like a year. I was buying them every time I went to the grocery store for a while.
Yeah.
But I don't want to be guided by all the trends. I want to... Yeah, but we'll see if I cook them.
Right. I was reading an article about like health superfood stores and like in New York they have like $15 whole milk, like it's like an experience.
Yeah.
And like the people that come are like Gen Z millennials that like have money to spend on that. And it's really interesting to me that people view food as like
a luxury
like that. Yeah, exactly.
It's interesting how the closer you get to natural and organic, the more expensive it is.
Yeah,
absolutely.
The more out of touch. Yeah. And that's another thing I was going to talk to you about, Mama Sundry.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's changed, like it's totally rebirthed. Mama Sundry came during the pandemic. It was a pandemic baby. And, since then, we did a lot of like community building events. We had the documentary. It was amazing. We had some cool like experiences and products and stuff. But recently we've been kind of shifting the energy to focus on people having edible gardens at their homes. And just kind of like pull back on it being something so front facing and branded in that way. Cause it started to feel like not that we lost the plot, but it was like move back to like realign with what got us here in the first place, what started this work. So Bertram has been like kind of carrying it more so than me because he's like, it's a life mission for him. And my life mission is complementary, but like focused on music right now. So it's been, we're in a totally new season with that.
Yeah.
I appreciate you asking about it.
Yeah.
It's living. It's just it's in a new chapter.
Yeah. It's evolving.
Yeah. So it's had like 2 names since then, but it's like kind of quiet right now. So.
Well, my Mima actually works at My Cup of Tea house.
Oh, really? I've heard about that place recently.
Yeah, it's really cool. So she is like heavily involved at Second Press, and that was like her whole life. And Carrie Moore started like producing tea in Orange Mound, and she would get the women and the communities involved. And then they've like expanded to like learn skills like sewing or like learning how to like manage paying bills and stuff as like a single woman household. And they do like community gardens and stuff like that.
Yeah. That's so cool. I'm not familiar with that.
Yeah. It's so funny because I have a friend that works at the Orange Mound Library.
Yeah.
And her and my Mima stay connected all the time. And like they tell each other about events and stuff. But
yeah, I heard about that place recently. It sounded really special. Just, I hadn't heard anything like that being in that neighborhood. I grew up over there. My family's from there.
Yeah.
So it feels like a positive thing.
Yeah.
Cool.
No, that's really special work, though. I love that. Like, I love gardening, and I think it's so incredible that you can take a tiny seed and grow it into something incredible. And how if you start doing that, it just keeps perpetuating itself, get more seeds, you can save seeds. And,
and now we need that. I feel like we need that shit now more than ever now. Like, I think a lot about how skills that are valued have distanced from practicality and lean more into like what makes a good show or what makes somebody look cool. And more people need to know how to garden, make things with their hands, from sewing to tonics and teas and fixing damn cars and homes and stuff. So I feel like that's like the wave of what I think is kind of cool right now. Of like really practical skills.
I actually saw that documentary too. And watching the kids like feel like they were so empowered by seeing what they could do themselves physically just from learning something one time. And then now they have that skill forever. That's like, it's such a big feeling. And to be able to pass that down.
Well, it's also just community building too. Like, we built relationships with those kids. So it's like people that trust us in the neighborhood. We had the party last night and our neighbors were there jamming. Like, it takes proximity to the next level when you have like actual curiosity about getting to know people. And I feel like now more than ever it's important that you know your neighbors. So that's what we're trying to do.
I think it also adds a better understanding of the work that people go through. It's going to help reduce food waste, because if you see how much work it takes to grow, like we're talking about cabbage, like to grow a full nice head of cabbage, it's really hard.
It's not easy.
So I feel like if people understood everything that goes into that, like growing food, preparing food, how many hands have to touch a vegetable before it gets to the plate, it really creates a better sense of understanding. If people see more value in it, maybe would not waste as much, or I think it's super important. To understand the scope of everything.
Thank you. Oh. Now here's the thing though. I've really been trying to do a lot better at eating in my house.
I feel that.
And I've been doing really good. I mean, not every day, but I've been doing a lot better. Just kind of trying to be mindful of how I love balling out, going out to eat and shit. But I was like, I need to stay at home for a minute. And it was really kind of me trying to do that for the rest of 2025. But it's a new year now, so I need to get back outside.
No, I feel that. I've been trying to do that too. Like, I feel like I get so busy sometimes that food and cooking for myself is
the last thing on your mind.
And it's like, it's not healthy, it costs more money, and also like, I love cooking for myself. So like intentionally, like purposefully making sure that I do that more often, it feels like a form of like self-care, like loving myself by cooking myself a really nice, nutritious meal. So I totally feel that.
You also have to be present for that. Like, you have to be a part of that experience, because you have to think about it ahead of time. Like,
exactly.
Here's what what am I hungry for? Like, what do I want later? And do I have those ingredients? And if I don't, I have to go to the store, and then like...
And that's the problem right there. That's what fucks me up. It's by the time I get home, I'm tired, and I'm like, what do I have? Let's make something just of what's here. But honestly, that requires like resourcefulness. And it like helps me really appreciate my mom, my grandma, you know, those folks who were working with a little to make us a lot. And just feeling like they really had to tap into their creativity sometimes when it was between paychecks and we had to like figure out what we was about to eat. And I was still eating good. And it lets me know that I have that skill too, you know? So, anyways.
Whoa.
Yeah.
I've never had those.
Wait, really?
No.
Well, as a plant-based person, I think you may enjoy them.
Yay.
Yeah. We try to do plant-based food that is not necessarily just like a vegan version of a meat dish. Because I think it's nice for people that are plant-based or enjoy vegetarian food to have something that's specifically curated for them. And it's actually one of my favorite things to do as a chef is like make vegan food, because it just requires a lot more imagination and a lot more creativity, and it's just fun to flex that muscle sometimes. Especially when you make something that's vegan and you give it to someone that wouldn't necessarily choose something like that and they can't even tell. I get a little kick out of that.
my boyfriend's brother CK is vegan, or he's veg too, and so that's always fun because I have always been the only like vegetarian in my family, whatever. And so when I first started dating Sam, like I always had a veg option, and I didn't have to like, because I'm coming into a new family too, so I'm like I don't want to have all these weird restrictions, but it's so nice. Like, and at Hog they do too. Like I just love that people in this city, because I mean it's such a like meat heavy place.
It definitely.
But
even just having that
2026,
option,
like I feel like most places are kind of catching up to that conversation. But what I think you're saying that's important is that not everybody's doing it well, and y'all are doing it really well.
Yeah, definitely.
Because these are just as good. The tofu and the chicken are equally delicious.
Yeah.
Right.
So.
And I will also say that for me, like, one of the things I love most about food is sharing a table with people, like sharing a meal together. I feel like it's such a special experience.
Yeah.
And so for no matter what your dietary is, I feel like you need to be included in the same table.
Yeah.
And so that's what we try to be really mindful about our menus, that anybody, no matter what you eat, you know, there's tons of gluten-free, dairy-free people. Like, we want everybody to be able to spend time with their families. No matter what you want to eat.
Yay.
So don't be shy, dig in.
Yay.
The kimchi is one of my favorites. I just love pickles.
I just love whatever the hell is in here. Cause it's pretty.
Yeah.
Go girl. Oh.
This one is definitely a test of the chopstick skills.
No, it really is.
I've worked in a lot of Asian restaurants, so I feel like I picked it up. I worked at P.F. Chang's for a while.
No way.
Yeah. And then I worked at Bontai, and that was really fun.
Yeah.
On Peabody, because the chef was like from Thailand, and he like
Bontai was fire.
Yeah, that patio.
Yeah, that was good.
But they like grew their own basil and mint too.
Oh, so cool.
That's really good. And they brewed their own Thai tea. God, I miss Thai tea and like Thai coffee.
Yeah. So how long have you been a vegetarian for?
I've been like on and off for a while. I'm a Cancer. I'm such an empath. Sometimes I'm just like, this is weird. I can't do it. But I actually watched a docuseries on Netflix, and it was a study of twins. It was like identical twins.
I watched that too.
Yeah, and one of them had an omnivore diet and the other had a vegetarian diet. But in between them studying like their health, they were also talking about different things within like the meat production industry and like salmon farming and like just like different ethical things. Sorry. But just like different ethical things that I was like,
you're right.
I feel like this is something that I could feel like I'm making a difference. Just, you know.
Yeah.
And cause, I mean, there's no ethical consumption under capitalism, but I was like, you know, this can be my small part, and also it's good for me. And then I did get more into creative eating and stuff like that. And it's also kind of like smoking cigarettes. I don't know if y'all ever had to quit that, but it's like, even if you crave it, sometimes like the taste of it alone, you're like, I can't go back to it.
Yeah.
That's so funny. I was a vegetarian for 3 years.
Yeah.
And honestly, I only did it because I'm very competitive. And my
Hilarious.
my older sibling like said that I wouldn't be able to do it, so I was like, oh, I'll show you. But I was a bad vegetarian. Like, I would sneak off sometimes and go by myself to McDonald's and get like a spicy fried chicken sandwich.
The last thing that broke me was a 4 for $4 from Wendy's, because I was so broke and I was like, I have to feed myself. And I was like early 20s, and I was like, let me get them chicken nuggets, and it was over after that.
It's chicken every time for me. It's chicken
Rotisserie
every
chicken
time.
for me. I don't know why.
It's gonna be fried chicken or wings.
Oh my God, fried chicken is my favorite food.
It's easy to be vegetarian in New York. It's hard as fuck to be vegetarian here. I was that for years there. But I'm totally at peace with it. Like, you know, shit is on fire. I'm gonna eat a chicken wing.
But
That's
I feel like
kinda
it's
where I'm at with
popping here, and even with like the mocktails and stuff, because I don't drink, and I feel like there's
Yeah, it's becoming better and better with mocktails.
I feel like it's definitely more normalized, and I feel like people are having fun with it.
It is fun.
Yeah.
Fun. You're right.
Like, it used to be like an inconvenience. It was like seen like that. Cause again, we're like a very big like drinking city.
Yeah.
But I think when it's like, well, we can still include everybody and also bring people in that might not have felt like they could come in before. I think that's fun.
They used to be giving people fruit punch, but now it's like they become more complex with the
like
flavor.
soda water on top.
Yeah, it's just way more interesting now, and I appreciate that.
Now, which I also appreciate because I'm allergic to alcohol, and so for the longest time it'd be like you go to bars and they're like, not alcoholic, like, what, you want a soda?
Right.
Yeah.
Not really.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So I love this new trend.
Yeah. How did you find out you were allergic?
Well, both my parents are very allergic, so I always kind of knew. And then I would say, like, when I was in high school and college, I would drink anyways for the, social pressure and, like, still trying to figure out who I am in a social place when most people around you are under the influence. So I would say I definitely struggled with that for a while, and I would put myself through a lot of discomfort and just drink anyways.
Oh my God.
And even, like, in the last couple of years, I feel like I've really come to a better place where I can go to a bar. I don't feel insecure anymore if I'm not drinking.
Yeah.
And having other options makes a huge difference.
It really does.
Like, I'm not just here drinking water, like, in a bar. Like, I get to have a drink, too. I get to have a non-alcoholic beer, or...
It also helps that, like, social transition, because I worked in service industry for, like, 10 years, and so I developed some, like, crazy drinking habits. And when I first stopped drinking, it was the, like, what do I do when I'm out with my friends and they're all drinking and I feel weird? Even though it's not weird, I just, like, haven't taken on that identity yet that I don't drink.
It's all internalized.
Yeah. But I quit for, like, January one year, and then I was like, oh my God, my anxiety is so much better. There's not like one day out of every week where I'm like not feeling well or like having like a bad day. And I was like, let me see how long I can do that. And I think being able to like go out to things alone for the first time ever and like feel comfortable was like crazy. And I was like, well, I'm going to keep doing this. So,
yeah. I danced till 2:00 in the morning yesterday sober. You don't need it.
Yeah.
You can still have the time of your life. It's just something that starts to become something you think that you need.
Yeah.
To give yourself permission to be weird, but you can be weird just because you're fucking weird. That's how, you can just be loose and, however you feel.
Yeah.
So I feel you on that. I worked in the service industry for a long time too, and that shit can easily get you like normalizing drinking too much. I mean, between music and serving, like they both do that,
Absolutely.
So I don't know how crazy it got because my mom has always been on my ass because like alcoholism is in my family. So if I tell her 3 days in a row that I had wine, she's like, girl, don't forget.
Yeah.
Your grandmother, your great grandmother, your this, your that. Just don't forget. Yeah. And I'm like, all right, it's constantly on my mind. Mm-hmm. But it's definitely been time where I'm like, I need a year off. I need a month off. I need, whatever time to just kind of recalibrate your brain and to make the choice to go out and say, not this time. I'm good.
Yeah. I think knowing that I had a choice or like feeling that I did have a choice was like, once I knew I had that, I was like, if I do or don't drink again, like that's ultimately my decision. Mm-hmm. But knowing that I can go out and feel like, oh, I can like be myself and I don't have to have a drink. Like that's a good feeling.
Yeah, definitely.
But a lot of the time we don't even stop to think about, oh, maybe if I stop doing this or like, took a break from doing this, I might feel better.
Yeah.
But I tell myself like, it's not that I say like, I'm not going to drink ever again. It's like, if I feel the urge and I feel the craving to have a drink, I'll get one.
Yeah.
But what's interesting is that I haven't felt that urge or that craving in months and months.
Right.
And so that alone tells me so much.
Yeah.
It does.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm.
Now, weed on the other hand.
Right.
They have the THC drinks now too, and I love that shit.
I'm very into that.
Have y'all been to that restaurant on Broad?
I haven't.
No.
I've been looking at it, but I haven't heard anybody talking about it, and it doesn't look intriguing from outside.
I'm so curious how that works.
I need somebody to tell me what's going on.
And like, how do you pace people? Because I feel like everybody's tolerance is different, right?
Yeah,
Like,
and
how
it
do you
hits you
gauge?
late when you're doing edibles. It don't come right away,
Right.
you know?
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like it's a very interesting balancing act, but
It seems like a big liability that I would not want. Right? Like, I feel like there's a lot more restrictions around that.
It's not. I feel like it's, I don't know how I would feel about an edible experience in that way. I have a trauma story about edibles. Like, trauma is extreme. It's not trauma. It was just very embarrassing and confusing, that moment where I had like a cookie and then I had to go to work. I was working at a restaurant and I was taking someone's order. I go to the computer. I put my finger to unlock the system and I was like, I don't know where I am. I don't know what that person ordered. I don't know what's going on.
Yeah.
And I had to work like an 8-hour shift. It was crazy.
Oh no.
And I'm like, no, I won't be doing that anymore.
That's like my reoccurring stress nightmare.
Yeah.
Anytime I'm like stressed out in real life, I have a recurring dream that I'm at PF Chang's and they've like changed the POS system and like my whole section's full. And I'm like, oh my God. And none of my friends are there.
That's like working in hospitality and having those dreams is like so common.
It's so common. Like, I would wake up in the middle of the night. Did I remember to see those people?
Yeah.
It's been, I guess, like 8 years since I've worked in that type of way in hospitality. I feel like even being a performer is hospitality in some type of way.
I was literally going to bring that up.
Yeah.
I was going to segue into that because I read in like an interview or somewhere that you said that your craft is service.
It is.
And I think like with food and with music, being a performer and like sharing your art, there is so much, and a community leader, like there's so much that goes into service.
Yeah.
And especially being women, like I think that we have that in us of like that need to like nurture.
Yeah,
And
definitely.
Yeah.
It feels like service for sure, because, I think for me, I've been thinking a lot about like minimizing the power of celebrity and bringing back the days where like your favorite singer was in your community and touchable and somebody you can have a conversation with. And so when I think about it being a service, I think about it like, this is what I'm offering to community. You're offering food to community. You're offering reflection on what you see in community, giving people advice on what to listen to. Like, everybody's doing something for each other. And my form of service and honoring the community that I'm in is through the music. It's that's like for them, that's thinking about them. And as honest as I can get in the music, the more they can see themselves in it as well, you know?
Yeah.
So that's how I'm thinking about it.
I admired your work I've followed your work for quite some time. And I definitely see that like the community focus, like the purpose behind it, I think makes such a big difference, because even if people don't know what your purpose is, like they can feel the energy of like when you perform or like when you perform for someone and you're like, I'm doing this for you.
Yeah.
So that we can have something that we enjoy together.
Yeah.
And I think that's really important.
It is.
I also like with both of y'all incorporating family.
Oh yeah. That baby's hungry. I need these to be closer to me. Okay. Family. That's such a big deal.
Yes.
Ooh.
Thank you.
Right, zippy like vinegar things.
Mm-hmm. Thank you. But the family piece.
Yeah.
I fucking love my family.
Yeah.
I'm so into them. Like, we learn so much together from each other. We have the most fun with each other. And I feel like we've earned where we are right now through like work, through conflict that ultimately leads to deeper connection and understanding. I lived outside of the city for 8 years or so. And so coming back, like, I almost have had to relearn people, relearn dynamics, relearn myself in a familial context. Because I would be gone for long periods of time without coming back. And my brother he had kids, and like watching kids grow up looking like us is so crazy. And I love it. And I find myself, just wanting to include them in my world. Like I just got dropped off. They were in the car. They're at the park waiting on me, and we're going to hang out tonight and we're going to make a song together because that's what we do.
I was going to say, your kids are a part of your music.
Yeah. So one of my nieces is on, my two oldest nieces, each one of them is on one of the songs on my project. And my youngest niece is dancing on stage with me. I love letting them be on stage with me because the way I got the permission to be a performer is because my dad is a comedian. So I was at clubs with him at night, like probably way too young to be there. But just the dynamic of having the access to him to where that part of his life wasn't separate from me. I don't want to separate that part of my life from them because I want them to feel like it's no big deal.
Yeah.
Until they're old enough to see how big of a deal it is. I don't want them to feel like, a lot of kids are nervous about being in front of people and talking or singing, or they act more shy than they are. I like that. I want my nieces to feel like that they deserve to be in front of people and that they deserve to share their talents. And I find that they're so wise and beyond their years from being so deeply in family and being able to have those type of experiences that make them show how special they are, you know? So they're like center of my world. My family, is my husband, and I don't know, like, I feel like there's something to trying to serve the people that are this close to you. Then y'all have a deep understanding of like what your shared ethics and morals are and how you love. What is your love code? Then you get to like share that with other people, and you coming home to a foundation. You're not moving with as much desperation, fear, or longing, because you have a foundation, right? So that's kind of what it's almost religious to me, that family relationship,
It's also like when you have that sense of love and stability and you're not like constantly seeking that out, even starting from a young age, like with your nieces, like knowing that like, oh, well, I have that guidance that I can go to, like you don't search for that anymore. And then you get to search for like, what brings me joy? What's my purpose? And there are so many people that will spend their entire life seeking out that love because they never received that. And like, it is crazy.
My mom didn't get it. So she was intentional about making sure we had it. So we have a little more to give to them. And, we're just trying to grow it.
Yeah.
We're just trying to grow it. What's your family dynamic like?
So I grew up in Memphis, and then we moved away for a while, and we were living in China. And that was a huge impact on me in terms of, finding my love and my passion for food, was getting to be closer to my Chinese side of the family. Because living in the U.S. and having my grandparents live in countries that are halfway around the world was definitely an interesting experience. Like, at least I had my family nucleus, but getting to be close with like my cousins that lived in Beijing and getting to visit my grandma in Indonesia, they were all super impactful experiences for me, discovering my love of food and discovering, another aspect of it is not knowing the language like I speak English. And so my Chinese grandma doesn't speak English. My Chinese, it's pretty good, but it's not to the level where I can like talk about really neat stuff with her. So food was always really important for me to make those connections with her. Yeah, she really taught me a lot about food and being a chef. And I have a tattoo on my arm that's like dedicated to her.
That's beautiful.
The Chinese flavor, and her zodiac is the snake. Because she taught me so much about food and what it means to connect with others through food and culture. So I definitely feel that family thing, like, I think living so far away from family makes you realize how important it is when you actually get to spend time together and do really simple things with each other, like go to the park or just hang out, watch movies. So now living in Memphis and my parents are here too, it's so nice to be in the same city as them. Yeah. I feel like I used to take that for granted, but now I'm like, I get to see them. Like, I get to know better what's going on with their health and what their lives are like.
Yeah. Do you have siblings?
I have an older sibling. Yeah. Okay. They live in Chicago.
Okay.
So they're the one that's like far away, but it's not too far that we don't get to see each other.
No, that's not too far. You know? Yeah. That's not too far at all. So do you have an Indonesian parent and a Chinese parent? Is that what you were saying? Okay.
My mom is from Jakarta and she's Indonesian, and my dad is from Beijing. Yeah. So it can be kind of hard because I have family scattered all over the world.
Yeah.
But travel is like another one of my passions. So I just use it as an excuse to like
absolutely
go everywhere.
Yeah. That's beautiful.
I also feel like it's nice because I feel like when you're younger and you're absorbing all of these things about your family and you're like taking it on, you don't necessarily take it for granted, but I don't think you really understand like how much it's shaping you as a person. It's like I grew up in a dance studio. Like my grandmother was a dance teacher. And so I was learning how to be comfortable in your body, like really early on, and like being surrounded by women all the time. Like I just always felt so safe and like expressing myself that way and like moving my body as like a cathartic experience. And my dad was in a band growing up. And so when I was younger, I didn't realize how much of that was like instilled into me and like what shaped me as an adult. Yeah. And like now I feel like, and I think y'all can relate too, of like being in a space where like, oh, those things that shaped me are the things that I can like give back and like put back into the world. And that makes you appreciate it even more and like make you feel that much more connected to those roots. Cause you're like, oh wow, that really did for real hack me in that way. Yeah.
Do you think that's where your passion for music came from?
Absolutely. Like I grew up on like Whitney Houston, Mariah Carey, like Britney Spears, and like they were never shamed in a dance studio because they knew how to express themselves and perform, and like having that separation of like when you go on stage and you're performing, that's an expression of like dance. And like, so I grew up in that like very girly, like pro femme space. And then my dad was in like a metal band. So I grew up, like my first concert was Kiss, which is like that is so when I was like 5 years old. And so it was just like kind of living in both of those worlds and seeing like, I loved both of them. And just exploring that. Because it was a lot of the time where like there wasn't a lot of crossover, where like I would be really into like a metal thing and like the girls didn't know what that was. Yeah. Or then my dad would be like, well, I think your pop music is dumb. And I'm like, but you're like my idol. You're like my musical idol. If you don't like what I like that means, you know, my taste isn't good. And so just like blending those.
Old. My nieces were like, they're listening to pop music now. They used to just mostly listen to what we were listening to, soul and jazz and hip hop, whatever. They're listening to their pop, and I'm like, all right, I'm going to give this a chance. But then some of it I just don't like because I'm older.
Like
you know?
what?
Well, okay, I'll tell you one of the things I did like. My nieces started to get really into K-pop Demon Hunters when it came out. And they would be singing the songs, and I'm like, what are these songs y'all are singing? K-pop Demon Hunters. I was like, one day I just decided to watch it because I want to connect with them. Like, I don't want to assume that their taste sucks because I know their taste doesn't suck because they were raised by us and we're fucking cool.
Right. Yeah.
So I watched it and I was like, damn, this shit is good. It was actually good. The songs were good.
Yeah.
I think I might have like shed one tear at the end.
Yes. I love that movie.
It was so good.
It's a good movie. Like, I see that and I imagine like, if this was around when I was growing up, like, that was just so special, you know, to see that representation and see like K-pop animated movie with 3 young women, like strong young women as the leads in this, like, that's so fucking cool.
It was so good.
Yeah.
I felt that way about the Spider-Man, like the Miles Morales and like the animated. Cause there was Metro Boomin did the soundtrack.
That
and,
soundtrack was really
James
fucking
Blake,
good.
And I was like, oh my gosh, like, I can't believe people, like kids get to grow up with this being their example of like a superhero.
That was a great soundtrack. Honestly, the kids' movies these days, 10 out of 10.
Right. Because it's us making them now. Like,
they're so good. Like, anytime my nieces are like, let's watch a movie, for sure, I want to see it. They're really good. But yeah, some of the other stuff I'm not that into, and I wouldn't even know the names of them. So, but I'm not an anti-pop girly. I love pop music.
Yeah.
But, you know, not all of it.
Yeah. I actually wanted to talk to you about not putting your last project on Spotify.
Yeah.
And like the effect of streaming and all of that with like taste, you know.
So interesting. You know, okay, so I put my first song out on Spotify in like 2017. Before that, I used to make my own CDs on my laptop and like give them out at my concert. And I used to sell my project on Bandcamp. When I first started putting music on Spotify, I really felt like I was going somewhere. I was like, oh, this is like the big thing. And it was. And I did really well on there. I got great playlists. I made decent money. But I had to really work so hard to get people to listen in that space. And then when I would make money because I would be on playlists. But on those playlists, those people aren't invested in you as an artist. They don't know your name. They know this playlist. They like this playlist. They always listen to the playlist. And when your song isn't on there anymore, a lot of times they're not engaged with you anymore. So as far as, you know, trying to deepen community and be intentional about keeping people along for the ride, not just for that one moment, it's like the difference between being obsessed with likes versus doing the work to have friends. To me, that's the difference between Spotify and like now my project is on a platform called Even where you have to pay for it. And it's not the intention is not to force people to pay. It's one to be in a reciprocal relationship.
Right.
And to honestly like bring back buying music.
Yeah.
Because now everybody, you know, you can spend $20 a month and have access to everything where we used to have to save up, spend $20 on a CD, spend some time with that CD, get to know that artist, get to love that artist. And for me, the deepening of relationships feels really important right now because we're experiencing media so fast and so passively that we don't even realize how we're being programmed.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying that on some like us and them type of stuff. I'm saying that on some like, sometimes you don't remember what you consumed that has affected how you're feeling in the moment. So for me, it's about the slow down.
Yeah.
I don't want our music on there because I want us to slow down and engage with one another a little bit more intentionally.
Yeah.
So that's how we landed there. Yeah.
I just finished this book. It's called Mood Machine by Liz Pelly. And it was talking about Spotify and like, cause it started as like basically a way to host ads. Like that was what the creators of it were really good at, was like collecting money through ad placement. And so music was like secondary to them. But also even like playlisting and stuff. Like there are now music creators that make specific like things just to get onto playlists. And like how passive listening is so popular right now.
Yeah.
To where people don't even care if it's like man-made or AI because they just want to like the lo-fi and like all of that. It's not really like tapping into the like history of certain like music categories, and it's just kind of erasing like what it actually is. And it's so scary because I literally didn't know any of that.
And I think, you know, I've been there too where I'm listening to a playlist and I've been listening to this artist for months and then I'm like, oh, you know that song that I love, or I'm recommending it to somebody and I think about it, I'm like, I don't even know whose song that is. Yeah. And as a musician, that concerns me.
Yeah.
And like you said, with AI being able to make a song in an hour, it discredits the value of the intentionality behind being a student of music, behind music being like just like food is. It's a spiritual language that humans share, and it's a way we show love towards one another in food, in music. And to erase that or to trick people into thinking they're getting that from something that doesn't have that lived experience, it just kind of makes you feel like, well, what are we connecting on? You know, is it all in our heads? So to be intentional about wanting to maintain that organic, spiritual way of connecting to one another, it's important to me that we slow down a little bit. And I know I always think about how I'm getting older and it makes me want to preserve what I've known. So I'm cool with that. I know that things are going to change. It's an inevitability and things are going to find their balance in the midst of the changing. But while I can, I want to honor just how I'm feeling about these changes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I like what you said about, buying an album and then sitting with that album. Yeah. I will say, like, I'm guilty of this nowadays. It's not often that I will play an album from start to finish in the order it was intended. Yes.
Yeah.
And I definitely feel like with the way social media has been reprogramming our attention spans into like real, totally different subjects. And we're getting so used to this like intense dopamine saturation where that's maybe a reason why we like listening to the playlist where it's not all the same artists and you're listening to different songs.
Right.
Yeah, we should bring back like the slow listening, like album start to finish. I really like that.
Picking up a physical book and reading it, cooking from cutting up your own garlic and onions, like all of those type of things can just really, they help you to stay present. I think we've chosen convenience over presence, and I'm a little concerned about that.
And I also feel like we're saying that we're placing value on convenience over creation and art.
Yeah.
And like, that's scary to think about.
It is.
In the same way with food of like, it takes a budget of like, oh, I only have X amount this week and I'm going to spend it at Good Fortune or, like I'm not going to do takeout so I could go here. And it's an experience that I'm like looking forward to.
Yeah.
But then like when there's more and more fast food and you're like, and you're not like being present with that, it can be easy to like not value it as much,
Oh, yeah. Fast food chains, not my vibe. Like, I really like to eat local. I love that when I come in here, I see somebody that I know. I love that you have things I can root for, Like, oh my gosh, I was so excited when y'all did that pop-up. I came with some friends. I didn't stand in the line. They stood in the line and I arrived. By the time we were almost at the front, I didn't mean to, but that is what happened. But just being able to root for people that you can touch. Like, I know them people, I don't want Wendy's because I don't know them. Yeah. They don't fuck with me. Like, I can't go in, say hello and give somebody a hug there. Like, I don't have I like the story of it all. I love the story of building a relationship with a musician, with a restaurant, with a book, with a coffee shop, with people that are accessible. And I know we at least have some shared values,
Yeah, right, absolutely. And I feel like that's one of the beautiful things about the Memphis community is like it's a big city, but it's also a small city.
It is.
And I used to hate that about Memphis where I'd be like, oh, I don't want to go to Kroger because I'm going to see all these people that I didn't know and I didn't plan to see.
Yeah, yeah.
But after living in a, 15 million population city in China and then coming back to Memphis and like you said, like going to the restaurant, giving a hug to the server who I always see.
Yeah.
Like there's something about that community feeling. It's being able to strengthen those relationships over time and like starting to follow your music a few years ago and then seeing you now. And like, it's all a beautiful community feeling that I never realized how much I value until, I've settled roots here and now I have this beautiful connection.
Yeah. That's so real. That is so real.
Yeah, we did an event last night, a Lunar New Year raid.
Yeah.
And I was telling some people, like, when I went into the dance room and I was just looking at all the bodies moving and vibing, how many faces I recognized. And I was like, oh, there's that person that I see all the time and that comes into the restaurant, or there's the person I see in my yoga class. And like, it's so special and so nice to see all those familiar faces.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I used to have that resistance to that as well. From living in New York, I would not want to be recognized as much. But what I was longing for when I was living there was people, proximity, regularity, people who could ask me how this particular thing, because they know what I've been doing. They know my family. Like, they know something about me. I value that more and more, and I want to be seen. So it's like, okay, it's cool that I see people I know. And if I'm not in the mood, what's wrong with simply saying, when they say, hey, how are you? I'm not in the best mood, but it's good to see you. this isn't the best time.
Yeah.
Like, so, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That feels like it's a valuable way to keep it human and be able to be genuine when you're actually in the mood to see people and be able to say, not right now, when you're not, you know, I feel like that's okay too.
Yeah, the increased familiarity is like allowing us to be more authentically ourselves and recognize we all see each other through so many different seasons and
Right.
Ebb and flow. It's like, it's more natural.
Yeah.
Like I had to come in here and tell y'all how I was feeling because it was written all over my face.
But I think being more open, because I think when you're involved in a community, like, there's a sense of accountability that comes with that, where it's like, you are kind of in a commitment and an agreement to like be authentic and to like be thoughtful of the other people that are a part of it. And you're also, you know, in an agreement that like, if I'm out of line or if something happens, to like, you need to address it with me and like hold me accountable. And so I think like that agreement of showing up and being present, like for other people, but also for yourself, on like a consistent level, like it really changed things for me, where I was like, you know, people are always going to be there and I can always like reach out with other people, like if I'm experiencing anything like high or low, and that's really cool.
And speaking of the Memphis creative community, like having a smaller community where we all know each other.
Yeah.
And it's like, you can find the people, the like-minded people.
Right.
Like this, for example, like you bringing us together.
Yeah.
And then I was recently approached by Raneem. I know you guys know Raneem. She's amazing. But she approached me to create some kind of event around the combination of these two big cultural celebrations that are happening at this time. So they're celebrating Ramadan in the Muslim community, and then also with the Chinese New Year. And so her just reaching out to me and being like, hey, you want to collaborate on something? And I'm like, you know I do.
I love that.
I love this idea, and I'm learning about her culture and she's learning about my culture, and we're going to do events so that people can experience a little bit of both cultures.
Yeah.
So it's really special. Like I love it so much.
With this intersection of your familial ethnicity, what was the spiritual, background like in your home? Like how did that intersect?
Yeah. So my mom was raised Catholic and my dad was an atheist. Up until like a few years ago.
Wow.
So we used to go to church and we used to go to Bible camp and stuff. But then at some point, my mom just kind of got tired of making us go because me and my older sibling didn't have a lot of our own motivation to be interested in that kind of thing. And so I never really like delved deep into spirituality. But in the past year, I've been getting a lot more in touch with my Indonesian side of the family. So I was able to spend 5 weeks in Indonesia, which has the biggest Muslim community in the world. And although my Chinese side of the family is Chinese Muslim, which is not common in China.
No, I haven't heard of that a lot.
But my Indonesian family is not Muslim. But just being in that country, and there's so many mosques around you, and they do prayer like multiple times a day. So I would just be, sitting having a coffee, and you hear chanting and you hear prayer. And it was such a special experience for me. Like I really felt, I would say for the first time in my life, I felt my own inner calling to explore that spirituality. So that's the journey that I'm on right now.
That's beautiful. That's so exciting.
Yeah, just learning. Like I wouldn't say that I have a specific, religion or thing that I identify with yet, but it's just been so cool learning how other people experience spirituality and trying to like find what feels right to me.
Yeah. That's pretty cool. I love that for you. That's exciting.
Yeah. What about you?
Well, I come from a very Christian family on my southern side of the family. My dad's family is very Christian. My mother grew up in a non-religious, wholly secular household that if you asked them, they would probably say they were Christian, but are they? I don't know. But my mother is a very creative, spiritual energy. She has been on a journey of curiosity and has studied many different forms of religion throughout my life. And ultimately, I think her goal was just feeling the thing all the way through and figuring out the through line in all of these religious practices. So I never grew up like locked into anything. But my mother would have like spiritual circles where we would get together and meditate or pray. And oftentimes the kids were a little bit separate from what the adults were doing. But recently, I would say that the spiritual energy is 100% nature centered and centered on what love and action does and what it looks like and how it shows up for community. And so never been a religious person, deeply spiritual person, deeply connected, always in conversation with the divine, but it's very personal. My practice is like, building enough of a relationship with my words so that when I'm in prayer, I know what energy I'm communicating with and from what state of mind I'm communicating it. And my relationship with language has really helped me to be intentional about connecting with God and connecting with myself. Connecting with God through myself and connecting with myself through God. It's like a conversation. Deeply ancestral with the practice. Like, because I come from a Christian family, I feel connected to Christianity as a practice, but not as a one way to connect to God. I don't think that doesn't sit well with me to think of there being one way, simply because I have witnessed the divine be embodied in so many different people who have different practices. And I have witnessed people who have the same practice be unkind to each other, unjust with each other. And I believe that at the end of the day, it's an essence. It's a practice. It's an effort. It's a prayer. And, yeah, I'm just learning. I'm just curious, and I'm just consistent with just being in my self-defined practice. And that's what my mama told me. Like, you figure it out for yourself. You don't have to do what I'm interested in. You don't have to do what they're interested in. Yeah. You go where you're being called. And so that's ever evolving.
Yeah, I love that. Like the ancestors, that's definitely the people that I think of, like when I need to draw strength, like when I'm praying.
Right.
I'm thinking of my ancestors.
Yeah, same. Yeah. And like, I have such a simple but complex idea of what God is, but it's all of that is included. Like when I'm talking to my ancestors, I'm saying, I'm communicating with my benevolent ancestors that are tapped into like whatever energy I'm trying to draw on from them. So if I'm saying like, I'm trying to learn how to love better, I'm calling on benevolent ancestors that were in deep practice of how to love, you know? Mm-hmm. So that's why I say the language part is so important, because it can get very concise. Yeah. And precise. Like, this is what I'm trying to say. This is exactly where I'm trying to get. And I love it. Honestly, I love being in spiritual practice and not feeling beholden to any particular path, you know? Yeah. Cause it's, that way I know that it's not about good or bad. It's about truth, you know? So, yeah, I'm on it. I love it.
In your word, mantras. Yeah. And so Solange and I have the same birthday, and I love her. But her Seat at the Table album, she does a lot of like mantra work in her songs and her songwriting, and she talks about how powerful it is to say the same thing over and over again and to keep that intention and like the power of repetition and even bringing in other people, like when you're gathering in like a worship space. But I think it's really, really cool.
Yeah. And I think that's one thing I really love. I love spiritual practice in the context of community. And like the Christian way is to say where two or more gathered, God is present. Mm-hmm. And I feel like, yep, that's true, you know, and that's why I love to pray with my people. Like, it's such a powerful opportunity, and all of us are coming from different backgrounds, but we're coming together with the same intention, you know? Yeah. So I'm deeply spiritually satisfied right now, like more than I've ever been in my life. Yeah. Because of my family, my husband, me, my even like my digital community. It's like something is happening. and I'm feeling it.
I feel like the narcissistic, like, archetype is, like, gone. I feel like the authenticity and, like, I don't know. I also see, like, community organizers and leaders that are coming together and, like, you know, we get to be the people that get to curate events and, like, dictate what spaces look like. And that also takes, you know, people like y'all standing up and stepping into those roles. And I think that's been really powerful to see, like, even like not even having like resources or funding and like seeing people step up and like do things despite that. And then it being successful and then it growing and the collaborating. Like, I think the collaborating right now is huge. That's like the fact that like, you're a restaurant, we're in music, and like it was like a natural thing that we all did together, and like yeah, I think that's really special. And I don't know if it's always existed here, but I'm definitely seeing it a lot more right now.
Yeah. And I feel like also with a lot of the leadership that we have in the community, like right now, is that everybody has this shared value of leading responsibly. Yeah. And I think that's also really important. Like, I feel like a lot of community leaders that I've seen, like, especially within the music community and creating spaces where we can have a dance party where everybody feels safe and inclusive. So I would say that Memphis community leaders are doing a really good job right now of creating inclusive spaces where we're valuing diversity and safety is also like a big priority.
Yeah.
So I love the accountability.
Yeah.
Yeah. Even in the food scene, like, I feel like there's so many like women-owned like bars and restaurants now that I've never seen before.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And I feel like there's more like inclusive, like music, and like sometimes it feels like it's dominating to me. Like that, like I feel like the femme shows are like the top right now.
Yeah. I mean, I might agree. I know those are the ones I go to, you know. But yeah, something is changing for sure, because I mean, we're going through two extremes right now. In some ways, there's like this resurgence of all of the isms that make us feel uncomfortable. And imperialism is I think it's having a temper tantrum right now. Like, and on the other side, people are like, and we're still going to keep getting free, regardless of what's going on over here and how many people are afraid of what freedom does to change the world. It's going to keep happening anyway. So yes, I do think our city is changing in some very positive ways. In the midst of it all, like, we're blessed enough to still be able to, want to keep going down the trajectory we were already going on and not buckle or be afraid because of what's going on right now, you know?
Yeah.
It almost makes you want to do better, be more collaborative, be more community centered, get more skills, you know?
Yeah.
Which I think is a good thing.
Yeah. And I'm so grateful that Memphis does have amazing leaders like you guys that are putting in the efforts to create this community, because that's the only way that the city is going to get better, is that people are showing love to Memphis. We're showing love to each other. And it takes extra effort. Like, it can be personally taxing. So I'm really grateful for the community and for like all the leaders around us. Like, it's a good energy to kind of like vibe off of. And like, when I don't have the energy, somebody else does, and we motivate each other to keep going and keep pushing.
Yeah. Well, and I think that's another thing about like the diversity of leadership that we have, is because I feel like there's so many different lived experiences, and a lot of us are like, well, we've struggled with something like this before, and we've had to figure out resources and communities before. And so, I think a lot of people are catching up to that, of like, oh, wait, this system isn't set up for me. What do we do? Yeah. But the ones that are stepping up and being like, hey, we've been there. Well, it'll happen again. And like, here's what we can do. Yeah. I think like that, and then also people realizing that we do need one another. Yeah. To overcome that has really shaped so much here.
Honestly, I'm proud of us.
Yeah.
We're growing.
Wait, you have to tell us, what does the year of the horse look like?
So in the Chinese like New Year calendar, every year is a different zodiac, but every year is also a different element. So this year is not only the year of the horse, but it's the element of fire. So those two in combination is a very strong, like, at the beginning of this conversation, we were talking about how the year has been pretty packed and, like, fast-paced. Yeah. Like, from what I've seen, that's what we can expect for the whole year. Yeah. So the whole energy is like, you know, riding that wave and riding that energy, but also trying to be mindful of your own internal energy and not burning yourself out because it's only the beginning of the year.
Yes. So, oh my God. Thank you for saying that.
Yeah. I need to keep saying it so I can keep reminding myself.
How do you avoid burnout?
Go to sleep. Sometimes you gotta say no to some shit you want to say yes to.
Yeah, that's something I really struggle with for sure. Yeah.
I get sick if I don't give myself the rest that I need.
Yeah.
And I literally just have to go to sleep.
For sure. I think for me, the number one thing is like leaning on my teammates. Because that's also been something that I've struggled with in the past, and like something I've really been working on the past few years as being a leader of a team is how do I trust people and just let them do their thing and trust that everything's going to work out, because it usually always does. And recognizing that, you know, we have shared interests. So definitely leaning on my team has helped me get rid of burnout, but it still happens. It's unavoidable, I think.
Yeah. I feel like where we are is just set up for burnout. There's so much more demand on us than there's ever been to show up in a lot of different spaces. In our homes, being financially responsible, being business owners, being on social media. It's exhausting.
Yeah.
Being alive is exhausting, but I'm going to take a nap. I'm the queen of a 10-minute or a 20-minute nap. And I wake up and I'm a brand new bitch.
I'm like seriously the complete opposite.
You can't nap?
I'm not, no, if I'm tired, I always am just like, maybe I should just have more caffeine.
I will take a nap. I will tell my body we're going to sleep for 20 minutes and I'll be up in 19.
No, that's my toxic trait. I'm like, no nap, let's get a coffee set.
The coffee don't work on me no more. Like, if I'm sleepy, I can have coffee and my body's like, you thought, you know, it doesn't work. I'm gonna go to sleep. I could finish a latte and go to sleep.
So no, I definitely feel like napping is like kind of a superpower.
Oh yeah.
Like what's that like?
Honestly, I think it's like the complete ability to surrender. Like I'm laying down and the attitude has to be fuck that shit. It really does. Yeah. And you know what my best friend is? Brown noise. Do you ever use noises to sleep?
No.
Brown noise is literally nothing. It's just like, and it knocks me out.
Yeah.
With ease, like every time. So, yeah, I've learned my lesson though, y'all. Like I used to be susceptible to get the cold, to get the flu, and I don't want to be like that. So I have to get rest. Yeah, it's required of me. So. I figure it out when I have to. Like, I was at work the other day. I was at my office, and I was just laid on the couch. 10 minutes. Bye. You know?
I definitely feel like that's another thing where it's like, because we're all working in things that we're extremely passionate about, and that passion gives you, you know, so much joy.
It does.
It's things that you love to do. It's so easy to get burnt out because, like you said, you see projects that are amazing and you just want to say yes because it's exciting.
Yeah.
You love what you do.
Or it's like your creative life will be going great and you have all of these things and then you're like, oh my God, my personal life is not good right now.
Literally, like I haven't seen my family in 2 weeks. Okay, I had a rest day, but now I'm going to spend it with my nieces because I haven't seen my family, you know? That's a thing too. That's definitely a thing.
Yeah.
And I don't have the formula figured out at all. I definitely get burnt out. I'm feeling like I'm on the edge of that now. However, I'm going to take a nap when I get home. I'm gonna take a nap and I'll be better.
My horse, it really is.
Yeah.
I feel the same way. Like this past month has been so packed with activities and so many events, and it's all so exciting, and it's brought me so much joy. And I love to see Memphis like supporting me in all these things. But there have been so many moments where I'm like, I'm literally like holding on to this fire horse for like dear life. Like I'm not falling. I didn't fall off yet, but I am like very close.
And yet, here we are.
Here we are.
Still enjoying delicious foods
Yeah.
from your great restaurant and making good music.
Yeah.
And creating a whole new experience, bringing together the food and the music.
Yeah.
So, good job, girls.
But I feel like this was energizing.